the Fajr breeze, it's the moment of learning, it's the aura of awakening. Come on and about Allah, oh oh oh, 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 come on and about Allah, oh oh oh.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this opportunity of another blessed day of Ramadan. We ask Allah to spare our lives till the end of it and make us reap all of its benefits. Ameen. Inshallah, today we'll be talking about an important aspect of Islam and the basis really of our religion, knowledge. And we are going to be specifically focusing on balancing religious knowledge with worldly knowledge. For starters, knowledge, as I have said earlier, is one of the basic principles of Islam. As we all know, the first revelation given to the Prophet ﷺ was for him to read, despite the fact that he himself was an unlettered man who could not read or write. However, this revelation is very much symbolic that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose to reveal it to a group of people, the Arabs, who at the time were largely illiterate. However, 100 years from this historic event, this revelation, they would be amongst the foremost in civilizations. They would be amongst those who were leading the world when it came to knowledge. We had some of the greatest scholars the world has ever seen that were from our golden era as Muslims. We have some of the best minds, some of our inventions today that could be traced back to our scholars of Islam, which shows that not only does Islam encourage us to seek religious knowledge, that is knowledge of how we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but also Islam encourages us to go into the world to search for what exactly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created and how we can use them to our benefits. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us about how he taught Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam, about how to make iron and how to beat metals into armors that we can use on the battlefield. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught Prophet Idris about the pen and how to write. So we have some of this knowledge that we trace back to our prophets, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not just ask us to learn about religious knowledge, but rather to also venture into other fields of science, of arts, of business, and every other science that we can use to advance ourselves. Now, to balance it, eventually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would say that إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء, that those who fear Allah the most are the scholars, i.e. the knowledgeable ones. Scholars here will not only reference Islamic scholars, but really, for anyone who is vast in the sciences or in arts, and we see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, indeed, it would make us amongst those who would fear Allah the most, because we would marvel at His creation. Now, in the month of Ramadan, we can use this opportunity to boost our knowledge base, to try and start encouraging ourselves to seek more knowledge. Many of us today are fond of just, stopping at something that is even sub-basic, really, in terms of our knowledge. And when we explore, we find out that the more you learn about Islam, the more you make more research, you may think those things are advanced, but you appreciate Islam the more. Learn about the Quran, learn about the Surah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, learn about Islamic jurisprudence, learn about the history of Islam itself. All of these things would further strengthen our iman, and it is also going to help us to cast doubts out of our minds. So in this month of Ramadan, I would encourage us to let us maximize our time and make sure that we benefit the most from all forms of knowledge. We ask Allah to make us from amongst the knowledgeable ones and those who would use the knowledge to their advantage and gain the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
It's the Fajr breeze, it's the moment of learning, it's the aura of awakening. Come on and about Allah, oh oh oh, come on and about Allah, oh oh oh, come come on in about Allah. Come on in about Allah. Come on in about Allah.